-3. Those are both less than -1. Very good. And then on this one, we want two pieces that are greater, or two x's that are greater than -1. So we could use what?
3 and 1.
Let's use one directly above it. 0 and 1. Are you looking for these, Solomon? These are from Friday. Do you need another copy? Alright, and then to find our x values, bless you, we're just going to plug these three into this first piece. So if I plug -1 in for x, I'll have -1 minus 2, which is what?
-3.
The next one should be what?
Oh. -4.
Good. Next one?
-5.
Good. Alright, and for the next piece, I'm going to plug all of these into the second one. So Ransom, what would I get when I plug in -1?
2.
Good. Kyle, what would I get when I plug in 0?
3.
Good. Alyssa, what would I get when I plug in 1? 4. Good. That's going to be the hardest part. Everything else is pretty easy. Any questions about where we got these values? Alright, for this first piece, when it says less than, at this point, is it going to be an open or closed circle?
Open.
Because there's no bar underneath. Very good. This one is going to be a closed circle because of the bar underneath. Go ahead and graph these 3 points first. So at -1, -3, you're going to have an open circle. At -2, -4, you're going to have a closed circle. At -3, -5, draw a dot, and then go ahead and draw that first piece. Alright, on the next one, -1, 2, you're going to have a closed circle. Same thing at 0, 3, and at 1, 4.
When we got draw a line on video last year.
What now?
When we got draw a line on video last year, did it? You know how we drew shaded?
That's with inequalities. We haven't got there yet.
Not doing the same thing.
Not in this one, though. Any questions about how to graph that?
I did
We're going to do the second one together. So go ahead and make how many charts for this one?
3.
3, because there's 3 pieces. Good. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to worry about graphing them first, then we'll worry about them in range. Alright, Colby. For this first piece, give me 3 x values that we're going to have to use. Start with this one always. And then I need 2 that are less than this.
-3 is greater than -4.
Good.
So -5, -6.
Good. Alright, Solomon, what's going to be my y values for all of these? Start with -4. It would. Next one? Where'd you get that from? For this one, these are our 3 x values we picked, and we're going to plug it into this piece. But is there any x to plug it in for? Is there an x beside here? Nope. So the value for all of these would be?
-3.
Yep, just -3.
Would be the same for x.
So again, if there's nothing to plug this in for, these values, it's just going to be that value. And then, Cade, on this one, give me 3 x values that I'll need for the second piece.
2, 1, and 0. Alright.
Always start with these.
Alright.
So we'll need -4 and 2, and now I just need one number in between that.
What would you think?
1. -4 because it's our restriction values. So these came for our restrictions for piece 2, the -4 and 2, and then I just told him to pick anything in between there. Is 1 in between those 2 numbers?
Wait,
Yes.
picking them in between.
So we can have 3 dots to graph. You can pick any number in between. So you could have picked 0, -3, -2, whichever one. Alright, Justin. When I plug in -4 to this piece, it's going to give me a y value of what? To the second piece for this function right here. It's going to give me what for the y value? Yeah, -4. Jalen, what's it going to give me when I plug one in? To the second piece. That's the one we're doing. Does everybody realize these are our x values that we picked? Which piece are we focusing on here? The second one, right? If I plug in a -4 for x, I'm going to get what? -4. If I plug in 1 for x,
1.
If I plug in 2 for x, 2. Alright, Camden. We're looking at the third piece now, so give me 3 x values.
2, 3, 1.
Good, because we start with 2 and then all of them had to be greater, correct? Alright, Michaela, tell me all of the x values, or excuse me, y values when I plug x in.
4, 3, and 2.
Oh, hold on a second. 4, 3, and 2. And let's see where she got that. She just plugged in 2 for x. That's going to be -2 plus 6 gave us 4. Same thing for 3 and 4. Oops. Alright, now I need to think about open or closed circles. So Ransom, for this first piece, this point at -4, is it going to be open or closed? Good. Brandon, for this one, my second piece, is it going to be open or closed?
Open.
And open where? When x equals what? And 2. Good. Alright, and then Kaya, on this one, what's my circle going to be? At 2 right here. Good. Go ahead and graph all of these points. Start with these first. So -4, -3 is going to be right here. And it's going to be closed. -5, -3, and -6, -3. And then connect your lines. Or dots. That's the first piece. Alright, my second piece right here, I'm going to graph -4, -4, open circle. Then I'm going to graph 1, 1. And 2, 2 should be open. And you can see that by these dots, it's going to make a straight line going this way. And then my last one, 2, 4 should be closed. Then 3, 3. Then 4, 2.
It can't interfere, can they?
You mean like cross each other? No,
They can't?
not with piecewise.
Ooh.
I wish this would go away. Alright, how do we feel about graphing piecewise functions? We feel better now than we did on Friday?
As long as we got a label, don't make range.
No, not yet. Raise your hand if you still feel uncomfortable with these, or like kind of shaky. Thank you. Alright, the worksheet I just passed out to you is what you're going to be doing in groups, and I'm going to break you up in groups in just a second. I'm going to borrow yours for a second. Alright, notice how on Jalen's paper there's some parts marked out. I want you to do the same thing. So this is the front. Go ahead and get that out. Okay. I want you to mark out the part on after this where it says graph each of the following. Everything else mark it out. I just want you to graph it. Okay, on number 19. Also mark out if it's a function or not. I just want you to focus on graphing today. Okay, then flip it over. Again, mark out all of this stuff on 20. Is it a function? You're just working on graphing it. Alright, this page, this whole page 25 through 29, when you're creating an equation, mark that out. You're not going to be working on 25 through 29. You will be doing this free response question, okay? So I want you to work with your partner on completing this. I don't want y'all to have two separate answers for any problem. I want y'all to compare each problem, and if one of y'all has a different answer and y'all can't come to an agreement on which one is correct, call me and then I'll interfere, okay? If you are working with a partner and just copying down what they have, it's not going to help you, because you're going to have a test next Tuesday and you'll need to know how to do this. Okay, so let me write down partners on the board. Then when you get with your partner, I'll kind of explain what to do for each problem. So let's go. Kaya and Justin, y'all know each other, right? Okay. Antonio, you'll be working with Katie. Y'all know each other? She's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do Camden and Brandon. Megan, I'm sorry if I spelled your name wrong. And Ransom. Jalen